The sun rolls across a clean blue sky as the 2026 Lumina glides into view, its LED signature lights catching the morning shine. A driver steps out of a cafe, coffee in hand, eyes drifting toward the car like it's something they've been waiting for all week. They walk closer, taking in the new body lines, sharper, tighter, more confident than anything the Lumina name has worn before. The streets are waking up, but the car already feels fully alive. They pull the door open, and the cabin greets them with a quiet warmth. Soft touch materials, subtle stitching, and an interior design built around the driver rather than around trends. A gentle pulse of light travels along the dash, welcoming them as they sink into the seat. Their hands land naturally on the steering wheel, and for a moment everything becomes still. The world outside remains busy, but inside the Lumina, it feels like the start of something better. With a press of the start button, the car hums awake, smooth, restrained, confident. The new hybrid powertrain balances electric torque with gasoline reliability, making the first few seconds feel effortless. The driver pulls out onto the road, barely pressing the pedal, yet the car moves with a clean, responsive push. The city's early traffic begins to gather, but the Lumina seems to flow around it with a quiet sense of purpose. A kid on a bike glances over as the Lumina passes. The polished grille, the floating roof design, the subtle curve of the rear lights, it all fits together like a single, uninterrupted idea. The kid nods, impressed, and the driver smiles. Sometimes the best way to know a car looks good is to see how people react when they weren't expecting to. Inside, the infotainment screen transitions into navigation mode, guiding the driver toward the outskirts of town. The voice assistant responds instantly to a casual request for the faster route. The wireless sound system kicks in, filling the cabin with music that feels crisp without being overwhelming. The driver rolls the window down a few inches, letting in the warm breeze while the road begins to open up. A long, empty stretch appears ahead, just asphalt, sky, and possibility. The driver presses the pedal a little harder, and the Lumina responds like it's been waiting for that moment. The acceleration is smooth but insistent, the kind that makes you feel connected to the car rather than pushed by it. The steering stays steady, the suspension absorbs every ripple, and the cabin remains quiet, except for the soft sweep of wind. As the car reaches cruising speed, the scenery begins to blur into warm tones of green and gold. The driver's thoughts drift, not to errands, not to schedules, but to the pure feeling of movement. The Lumina isn't just transporting them, it's reminding them what it feels like to enjoy the road again. Miles go by, each one easier than the last. A small town appears in the distance. The driver slows, and the regenerative braking gently feeds energy back into the battery. No drama, no noise, just smooth transition from motion to calm. The Lumina glides through the main street, past a bakery, a bookstore, a family walking a dog. The car doesn't shout for attention, but it receives it anyway. People notice the new shape, the clean lines, the modern but familiar presence of a Lumina redesigned for a new era. The driver pulls over near a quiet viewpoint. They sit for a moment, engine silent, screen dimmed, letting the world settle. The car feels like a companion rather than a machine, steady, protective, and ready for whatever comes next. After a deep breath, they step out and lean against the door, taking in the landscape. Soon they're back on the road, heading home. The sun is setting now, casting a warm glow across the hood. The Lumina's lights adjust automatically, creating a soft, clear path ahead. And as the miles unwind beneath them, the driver realizes something simple and true: this car isn't just about getting from place to place. It's about bringing back the experience of driving, comfortable, capable, and quietly exciting in all the right ways. When they finally pull into the driveway, the car powers down with a gentle fade. The driver closes the door, looks back once more, and knows they've found a vehicle that fits their life exactly the way they hoped. The 2026 Lumina feels like the beginning of a new story, one that's made to be driven every day.